the Amanda Seales Show. I'm Amanda Seales. We are here talking about the Democratic National Convention. And I think the number one thing that I heard from people who watched it was that it made them hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
Made them hopeful.
I
And you know what? People already think I'm annoying, so I might as well just lean into it. The hopefulness, though, the bar is so low that we're literally just hopeful to not go back to Jim Crow just yet. Like, that's where we're at.
Right.
And what people like myself and Mark Lamont Hill and basically anybody that you see saying, we would love for Kamala to speak directly to policies that are going to specifically, address ills and resources and wants and needs. What we're talking about is saying that we would like for the bar to be higher than just not being in hell.
Right.
And that we want to see the Democratic Party commit to not just not being far right, but commit to representing more of who's on the left.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're saying. It gets misinterpreted, but that's what we're saying. And I felt like we really didn't get that from the speeches from Tim Walz and Kamala Harris. Let's hear a little bit of Tim Walz's speech.
If you're a middle-class family or a family trying to get into the middle class, Kamala Harris is going to cut your taxes. If you're getting squeezed by prescription drug prices, Kamala Harris is going to take on Big Pharma. If you're hoping to buy a home, Kamala Harris is going to help make it more affordable. And no matter who you are, Kamala Harris is going to stand up and fight for your freedom to live the life that you want to lead.
That's not true. You can't say that and then simultaneously swear fealty to a country and a government that is actively participating in a genocide and that is actively, literally like forcing people out of their livelihoods for challenging their politics. And even though an international court of justice has named them as an apartheid state, and you're supporting them ignoring the international court of justice, you're literally supporting a country ignoring international law. So you can't, so that last little part was not true. But one thing I want to bring to y'all's attention though, is that everything he named was, everything that he named was attached to economy and capitalism.
Uh-huh.
And it's not to say that those are not important things because we live in a capitalist nation. However, what it does, though, is it always reminds us that America focuses more on money than on people. And even though he's like, even if you're listening and you're like, but Amanda, he's saying he's doing this for the people. He's doing this for the people who have the money, who can buy a house, yeah, right? He's doing like it's being said about, people like there was, I want to see if these people get in office, I want to see more talk about the things that keep people from being able to thrive as people, which is their inability to get access to resources. And that's educational resources, that's being targeted by the prison industrial complex, that's being targeted with immigration and deportation. This is a country that was literally built on immigrants, and yet here we have a Democratic Party that has committed now to having an immigration policy that's tougher than Donald Trump's. Like, that's like their thing that they're riding on. Let's hear some more from Kamala.
With respect to the war in Gaza, President Biden and I are working around the clock because now is the time to get a hostage deal and a ceasefire deal done. And let me be clear, I will always stand up for Israel's right to defend itself, and I will always ensure Israel has the ability to defend itself, because the people of Israel must never again face the horror that a terrorist organization called Hamas caused on October 7, including horrible sexual violence and the massacre of young people at a music festival. At the same time, what has happened in Gaza over the past 10 months is devastating. So many innocent lives lost. Desperate, hungry people fleeing for safety over and over again. The scale of suffering is heartbreaking. President Biden and I are working to end this war such that Israel is secure, the hostages are released, the suffering in Gaza ends, and the Palestinian people can realize their right to dignity, security, freedom, and self-determination.
Well, that's a crock of crap. Let's talk about it after the 60-second headlines.